Hello, my name is Ben Phillips, and I'm the manager of the Official Plan and Zoning Services team here at the City of Mississauga. I am here to give you an overview today of the city's proposed new official plan. The top two images are a reminder of the significant change Mississauga has seen in just one generation. Our city has grown up, but it is still growing. Mississauga has 32 cranes in the sky right now, so there is a lot of development, particularly new housing being built. Today, we will be talking about where do we go from here? What kind of future do we want for our city? And what policies will keep or will help make it a reality? When we talk about planning for a city's future, we need to talk about a city's official plan. So, first off, what is an official plan and why do we need one? The official plan is the key document that guides the long-term growth and development of cities in Ontario. It tells us where land uses such as residential, commercial, and industrial should be located and how they will develop over time. This framework includes policies that touch on a variety of themes ranging from housing, the environment, transportation, and heritage. The Ontario Planning Act says that each municipality must have an official plan, and Mississauga has had one since about 1980. In fact, every 10 years, the province requires cities to update their official plans. We are doing this now. This will be our fifth generation of the official plan. Other key reasons to update the official plan include implementing provincial and region of Peel land use directions and incorporating We are nearing the end of our review of the current official plan, which started in 2019. We have a proposed new official plan that we want to share with you. We will be presenting it to City Council for their adoption in the spring of this year. Since 2020, we have done a lot of consultation. We have hosted 10 virtual engagement meetings like this one and have had several smaller meetings in addition to formal public meetings in front of City Council. We have received many comments on what you want our future city to be. This slide is a summary of key comments we have heard from the people who live and work in Mississauga. These comments range from housing affordability to the scale of buildings, the mixture of uses in neighborhoods, the environment and climate change, walking and cycling, transit, access to jobs, cultural diversity, and heritage. I'm going to touch on each one of these key comments and show how we've been trying to address them in the new official plan. Keep in mind what you are about to hear is an overview of the key changes to the official plan. The entire document is over 600 pages, so we can't cover everything today. We heard a lot of comments about the need for more housing choices and affordable neighborhoods. To address this, the official plan allows for new infill housing options across the city. At the end of 2023, fourplexes were permitted as of right within neighborhoods. The photo on the bottom middle is an example of a fourplex, meaning a building with 4 dwelling units. Garden suites are also permitted, such as the one pictured on the right. We have created a new residential low-rise 1 land use designation that allows all forms of street-facing homes up to 3 stories as infill housing. Examples are detached homes, semi-detached houses, triplexes, multiplexes, and townhomes. This is what is known as gentle density, adding more housing and different types of housing at a similar low-rise scale to what is already found in most Mississauga neighborhoods. It expands housing choice beyond detached dwellings. The home shown on the left actually contains 6 units and is known as a multiplex. We have also added new policies to promote the creation of more family-sized 2 and 3 bedroom units. Another reason to add more homes to existing neighborhoods is to stabilize the ongoing loss in population. The pink areas on this map before you show where population has declined over the last 10 years. In fact, 70% of our neighborhood areas shrank in population between 2011 and 2021. This is because household sizes are getting smaller and seniors are staying in their homes. Adding more housing in a gentle manner is a way to use existing infrastructure wisely, including existing schools, libraries, community centers, water mains, and sewers. The proposed official plan also has new housing unit targets for affordable ownership and rental housing. These conform to the new Region of Peel official plan targets. You can see them before you in the yellow bubble. The first target is 30% of all new housing units will be affordable. And the second target, that 25% of all new housing units be rental. We had comments about the need for a greater mix of uses close to home, including retail. The new official plan addresses this in a few ways. The first is to direct high density growth towards transit stations and ensure that there are a mixture of uses. We want to ensure that these are complete communities where there is more than just homes. We have new policies to ensure residents are within walking distance of transit, local stores, services, jobs, and parks. This slide shows that most of Mississauga's new growth will be located in defined areas along major transit stations that exist or are funded. This includes sites along the Hurontario Street LRT and the planned Dundas Bus Rapid Transit Corridor. This rapid transit infrastructure is expensive, and we want to use it wisely. We want people to have good alternatives to driving, and being close to rapid transit stations is the best way to locate new density. Within these growth nodes, we want walking and cycling to be the most attractive options for getting around. This map shows that the city can accommodate growth for approximately 254,000 new residential units based on our land use planning framework. This is more than double the 120,000 units allocated to Mississauga under the province's 2031 target. Another new policy speaks to redevelopment of medium-sized commercial plazas. We are seeing interest in redeveloping more of these plazas, which are important parts of existing neighborhoods. While these sites have potential to add new housing, staff feel it is important to keep these commercial uses functioning to support neighborhoods. They provide nearby services within walking and cycling distance, local jobs, and a community focus. We have added a policy to require developers to keep the same amount of commercial space as these sites redevelop. Also, we have capped heights to 8 stories and have policies for the provision of new parks and new streets to be walkable. Another new retail policy permits small-scale retail stores and service establishments on lands designated residential low-rise 1 if compatibility with nearby homes can be demonstrated. We had several comments asking for more mid-rise and human-scale development. The new gentle density policies we've discussed address this. Staff are also proposing a new mid-rise residential land use designation. New proposed policies for mid-rise development guide heights, transition, and massing. These designations are located typically on the edges of neighborhoods and serve as a good transition to low-rise buildings along major streets. We have heard at our community meetings about the desire for alternatives to driving and concern about traffic congestion. We know that more roads is not the answer to congestion. There must be an attractive alternatives to the car. The new official plan introduces policies to prioritize walking, cycling, and transit across the city. It recognizes that people need to feel safe in order to choose walking and cycling. They need a fine-grained and well-connected system to get to their destinations. They need shorter distances to these destinations, including to shopping, medical appointments, their jobs, and local parks. There are new streetscape improvement policies to attract and support people using a new street classification system to scale street design to the street location. These policies have the added benefit of improving personal health through the active lifestyles that walking and cycling bring. These policies also seek to reduce carbon emissions as they reduce car trips and the lengths of trips that are still made by car. We also heard about the importance of job creation and supporting existing jobs and small businesses. We have added manufacturing permissions to the office-focused areas of Airport Corporate Center, Sheridan Park Corporate Center, and Gateway Corporate Center in response to a changing economy. The new official plan also reinforces protections for employment areas. It adds protections for commercial plazas as noted previously. Staff have also removed residential permissions from convenience commercial designated lands across the city in order to discourage their redevelopment. There were many comments about protecting and expanding natural areas as well as addressing climate change. The new official plan has stronger requirements for natural protection buffers and environmental assessment. It adds policies for water protection, the protection of all woodland areas, and growing the tree canopy. New policies encourage expansion of the green system through identification, restoration, and linkages. We have added several policies in response to climate change. There are new policies for low carbon development practices. The new emphasis on compact, walkable, complete communities with minimum required densities around transit stations will likely do the most to reduce carbon emissions and adapt to a changing climate. We also heard about the desire for a greater focus on culture, heritage, and the diversity that makes Mississauga unique. The new official plan has a strategic focus on arts and cultural development within 6 cultural districts. These districts are Clarkson, Cooksville, the Downtown Core, Malton, Port Credit, and Streetsville. There are also new heritage policies. These include the conservation of 28 significant cultural heritage landscapes, stronger archaeological protections, and All archaeological assessments within the city will require engagement with First Nations and Indigenous communities. In our public engagement, we heard a lot about the importance of celebrating diversity and treating people fairly. This slide shows one of the new official plan's key guiding principles, which says that Mississauga will promote social inclusion and value diversity. We will make land use and development decisions that are free from racial bias and that do not negatively impact Indigenous peoples and equity-deserving groups. We have used this lens throughout our review of what policies should be in the new official plan. This has been a high-level overview of the proposed new official plan. We encourage all of you to take a look at the new official plan for yourselves by going to our website. This Thursday, February 29th, we are hosting an open house drop-in event at City Hall where you can speak with staff one-on-one. We will be there to answer any questions that you have. You can also review digital and hard copy versions of the new official plan. Then on March 18th, we will be presenting the new official plan to the Planning and Development Committee as part of the statutory required public meeting at City Hall. We hope that City Council will adopt the plan later on in the spring at another public meeting. So there is still time for you to review and comment on the new official plan. Thank you all for your time. For more information, please visit mississauga.ca/official plan. Thank you.